every one of you who are present in this forum. This is the global conference of Sattakadir, and I thank the organizer, especially Dr. Sampath sir, for inviting me to give a talk on this particular topic. Training for honorable judges and respected lawyers, and also he's including the faculty of law and law students as well. And maybe he has selected this topic for me, thinking in mind the webinar series we have been conducting throughout the COVID-19 situation. It's not only my personal self, many people had been conducting these training sessions. Before COVID-19 and after COVID-19, you can split these in the legal education and this legal training, in particularly for the honorable judges and the respected lawyers, took a different turn and rethinking in the process. When COVID-19 knocked the doors, the legal fraternity definitely felt fish out of water. They never knew the technology which we have caught up now. So there was a wave of uncertainty that gripped everyone in the legal fraternity, everyone right from the junior level advocates to the honorable judges to everyone. How will we conduct ourselves? And these rethinking within a very short period gave the technology in our hand. There were so many platforms like what we are discussing right now is on an online platform, Zoom platform. Like that, there were so many platforms coming up with so many variety of topics, honorable judges and lawyers, and so many people had started taking sessions, and so many of them, law firms, individual lawyers, many started having the training for everyone, the legal training. That was a new turn, new thought, a rethinking process as such. And the competitive exams around the corner, the lawyer judiciary examinations and the prosecutor examination, and that kind of training was also going on. And initially, joining these webinars itself, the more than the technicality or the legal training involved, joining in this webinar, in this technology, that was a real happening thing, and everybody was enjoying initially these webinars, and later on, the real technicality, upgrading our knowledge came into the being. In India, we do have legal training for the judges, for the lawyers, everyone coming up. We have so many training coming up. But unfortunately, we do not have that much of higher training as we have to have it in our country. In India, we compared to many other countries in the world, our training has to have a rethinking, a total rethinking process. We do not have any credit points for all these kind of trainings as of now. We do have a continuous legal education in part or parcels by the various bar associations, bar councils, and the judicial academy everywhere. But basically, we do not have any particular upgraded training or accepted training which is well spoken about in our country, which has to be thought, deep thinking has to go inside this. When we compare many other countries, for example, in United States of America, the Bar Association of America are giving credit points for these kind of training. And it is not only the trainers or even the students or the persons who are taking up these trainings, they all get a credit point. For the pro bono work, for the legal service work, they get a credit point. It is not the usual litigant practice. It is something similar to your practice, but you are involved in academics. Law is a growing subject. Law grows along with the society. When there is a societal change, there is a change in the legislation. The legislation is given by the societal change. And we have so many social beneficial legislation coming up because of the changes in the society day in and day out. We would have studied at length and breadth in our law colleges. Every one of us would have passed the law colleges and would have come out with the degrees to enroll ourselves in the bar councils, and we are trained to an extent. But how far this training will stand good when new legislations, new judgments, and new thought process has to come into the practitioner's mindset? and training does the wonders. And this kind of continuous legal education is a must today. But let's go a little behind the history. The Advocates Act 1961, when it got enacted, we had a provision in it, section 24(1)(d) in that particular enactment, which was speaking about apprenticeship. We all have heard about apprenticeship even before that. It's a senior-junior relationship. It is a family. We all have had very many good seniors, including me, who have trained us so well. It was part of the family, which is an extended family. A senior-junior relationship should be appreciated. But I do not know whether the present generation juniors are having that kind of grooming and relationship in an office, in a senior's office. Most of us were the adopted children of the seniors. And in fact, that kind of relationship do not exist in a very greater perspective now. This particular provision of section 24(1)(d) in the Advocates Act 1961 did lost its place in the year 1973, didn't find its place anymore there. It was an apprenticeship that was taken away. Post this, there were few judgments from the Honorable Supreme Court speaking about the quality continuous legal education for the legal fraternity as a whole to be, and there are so many judgments which have been citing about the deterioration of the legal education in our country as well. But who will bell the cat? Who will take this training to a greater levels? And in fact, there was one particular case in the Supreme Court, or a citation in the Supreme Court, which is called as Banubai Vashi case. After that, the Bar Council of India tries to frame a set of rules in the year 1995. But actually, since the 24(1)(d) had been taken away in 1973 in the Advocates Act, this kind of rules for continuing legal education, the hard work of the Bar Council of India could not get the approval, and this rules was struck down for one another case by the Supreme Court. This case was called as in Re Sudhir was the Bar Council of India. So the Bar Council of India was trying its level best to bring in some kind of continuous legal education. If you take professionalism, other professionals, for example, the chartered accountants, the medical profession, they all have the continuous medical education, continuous training, but the legal education compared to the other professionals have lacked this continuous training, either for the lawyers, honorable judges, for anyone connected with the legal fraternity. So this hard thing, we have to understand that there is a need, there is a big vacuum there in the training. So why should we need training? That will be a big moot question. Why at all a lawyer who has been well qualified, who has a degree where he can practice law, why should that kind of person should come and train himself or herself? What is the need for that continuous training? We are reading daily, we are reading the barracks, we are reading the books, we are with the books. Why should we need this specialized training compared to the other professionals? As of course, we have to upgrade our lawyers, our education, legal education. For example, lawyers will get acquainted with the laws in the cases where they get it. No lawyer thinks that he wants to specialize in this particular field or in this particular arena. Each and everyone tries to upgrade the skills in the legal field they take up. Initially, any lawyer will be doing a general practice because we have to earn our bread and butter and we have to get the cases and we have to make a mark in our profession. So initially, any lawyer will be doing a general practice, and still many lawyers continue to do general practice. In the days to come, they start doing specialized practice, since this the lawyer community has to go forward in the cases which they get. So people will start getting in cases in particular field, either motor accidents, insurance, matrimonial, or your particular civil or criminal, any one particular field, you will be well knowledge, well equipped, because you're reading the case laws pertaining to that. But a general outline of legal knowledge is needed for any legal practitioner or any honorable judges sitting on the bench. So bench and bar are two sides of the same coin. So when this has to function to the fullest, and if this legal profession has to go to greater heights, a continuous legal education for everyone in the legal fraternity has to continue in the long run as such. And what are the constraints or the roadblocks in having these legal education? For example, the takers for this continuous legal education. There are so many platforms conducting webinars. Initially, there were so many people joining in those webinars, knowing that they want to acquaint themselves, because that was the COVID-19 situation. There were lockdowns, the court halls were not functioning. So they were doing so much to upgrade the knowledge of the people who were attending that. Many a times, these kind of webinars were housefuls. I have seen today, the webinars have given a new thought process, and after now, at least in Tamil Nadu, the Judicial Academy, along with the bar associations and the bar council, have started the intensive coaching. At least every weekends, they have a specialized training session on a particular topic, and they have speakers coming and deliberating on it. In India, the continuous legal education, even though it is very much essential, has not taken its wings. It has not spread because we do not get any benefit out of attending this. What is the benefit we get? There are many countries, United States of America, Australia, and Canada, so many countries, when we go and look into the legal education or the training after their education, of course, we get trained well in our law courts. The training after that they earn a credit points that is useful for them to become as judges or take up new positions and posts. So this is much needed in our country. We do not take it very seriously. This legal education, this continuous legal education is a need in this country now, and we have not taken it as seriously as we should have taken. But of course, we do have the bar councils and the bar association taking in training whenever which is needed. And today we have the technology. Previously, we didn't have the technical know-how where we have to connect. We should have the infrastructure facility to conduct a webinar or to conduct a series of lecture. Today, the technology is coming in. That this has been a cheapest and easiest mode of transmitting the legal knowledge, and this technology can be taken in hand. How this conference is possible? There were heavy rains in Chennai. This conference was to be a hybrid conference by the respected Dr. Sampath sir, but it became an online conference because of the technology in hand. He could connect the globe. He could connect everyone related with this conference. Because of this online platform, we could take it. And what is a lawyer's training? It is not only going to stop with only the training of the legal sessions or the sessions with the subjects, not only your laws or not only the judgments or not only the deliberations on the legal parlance. We can take training to a different level. This was first felt in the Indian subcontinent when the ADR mechanism, section 89 of the CPC, everything coming to force. Mediation had a starting. It was born. Mediation as a movement was born in India, the very same Chartered High Court of Madras. Then the mediation movement started, and every person, every lawyer, every honorable judges, everyone who wanted to know about it, it was only because of severe training this could be possible. This is one good example. The trained mediators, I myself being a mediator in the Honorable Madras High Court, how much of training has been gone in to make ourselves as good mediators. And this training involves a lot of soft skill mechanisms. Lawyers not only need laws, they should know so many other things. So they should know to curtail their angers. Anger is one thing, anger management. So this is needed. Like this, many soft skills, time management. So it is not only this training should stop only with the legal arena. There are so many areas which a lawyer to upgrade himself. A personal development, a personality development. Maybe this will be a cue for Dr. Sampath sir to do future programs on this. And we are ready on the Legal Allied platform to help Sampath sir in this as knowledge partners. So we have to personally upgrade ourselves. And a better contribution from every lawyer will give a very good, better and best landmark judgment. So lawyers and the judges are two sides of a coin. So a lawyer and a judge together, only two sides, two sets of arguments will give a judgment, a beautiful judgment. The judgment is based on these arguments. So it is not only the personal development, better contribution by the lawyers. So the lawyers have to upgrade other skills, your drafting skills and your argumentative capacity, your way of reading the bar acts to cult out the citations. Many do not know how to read in, how to interpretation of statutes, how to go in and research, how you look into the particular section compared to others. So these kind of homework has to be done. And this homework is not possibly by a single office or a single set of people. There should be so many people joining in hands to bring in this kind of productive, contributive change in our Indian legal system. Not only the law, the legal education in the law colleges that has to be upgraded. The continuous legal training has to be given a new thought over process. And as I already told, mediation is one thing which grew only because of training. And my dear friend Kavita, who's going to talk after me, she's not only a mediator, she's a mediator trainer herself. How she developed because of coming into the arena of mediation. So this kind of upgradation, and this will give a wide exposure. You will get connected to so many people. This I tell it personally, because of conducting so many webinars myself, I got connected to so many legal luminaries. And today, North, South, East, and West are connected, and the organizers of these webinars are following in a particular WhatsApp group. We talk to ourselves which kind of faculty will be dealing. And during this webinar series, I also understood it is not only the usually we used to call the honorable judges, the past and the present, and we used to call people, the senior advocates, and so many people, the legal faculties or the law faculties as such. But one great change I could see is the Mofussil lawyers. The Mofussil lawyers throughout the length and breadth of a country, they, I could vouch, these lawyers practicing in the lower courts, they are equally well versed like us and the trial court lawyers, and their input was very great use. So we have to bring in these kind of know-hows, which is not at all exposed. So we have to venture for the faculties, because when they have blogs, when they say that we are not joining because we don't have any credit points, again, the faculty, lack of faculty is one thing. I can assure there are so many faculties. If you venture out, there are humpty number of people ready to take out this as their passion to tell what they have been experienced in this profession in multitude of manner. So an advancement in the profession and the competency of each and every individual, either a honorable judge or a respected lawyer, and also the faculty or the law students, will all get upgraded only because of this continuous legal education, which we are lacking now. We are doing this continuous education in part and parcel. This could be a very well versed continuing legal education with the credit points for the people who are not only attending these conferences or seminars, everything. So, Sampath sir has conducted so many seminars all through his life. What is the credit we have given? We appreciate him in each and every. But if we calculate his credit points, and also academics and practicing lawyers are not seeing eye to eye. A lawyer having a touch with an academician will do a lot of good for the profession. And this has to be worked out to understand. And we have seen, so at least for us, we have seen honorable judges, senior advocates taking in as part-time professionals. And respected A. Tyagarajan sir was a professor for us in the law college. So there were so many senior lawyers coming and sharing their day-to-day now. This will upgrade the legal education in the real sense, will start from the final year of your college life. And this will continue till you just lay down your gown and call it a day in this legal profession, because we do not have any retirement in legal profession as such. And this is this should be a conscious training. This training should not be an eyewash training. You can have a module this way. So you need not think that there is a deterrent or the block law in conducting these kind of trainings. definitely these trainings are going to better and benefit the society, the legal society, and thereby the public at large. So upgrading knowledge, many would appreciate this. So having a credit point for all these things will bring in more and more lawyers and other people connected with the legal fraternity come into this to upgrade their knowledge. We do not know unless and until we come inside this arena and find out whether it is good or bad. We cannot wash it out. It is not needed. A continuous training is not only in the legal arena, for you in the drafting skills, in translation, in your vocabulary, your translation, your mother tongue, and your knowledge of English. Everything has to be taught. It's a wholesome thing. And your conveyancing, everything is taught in law colleges, of course. But when you come to practice, your practical life, every lawyer will say what you studied in law college and what you going to see in the law courts are totally different. This is the first word from the senior or any office you join in. So what we studied in law college and what we are going to see in this is going to be different. How it is different? The practicality. Of course, we have the All India Bar examinations and where we have to clear it to become the lawyers who can file wakalats and practice, of course. But the practical training, day in and day out, we need trainings because there are lots of judgments coming up. Very many landmark judgments of coming up. We have to have study circles. These study circles have to deliberate on the judgments, not on the critical view, understanding the law in a different perspective. And they have to think about the legal subjects which has come after it. Comparatively, just look into after independence. Before independence, we have so many legislation, and Indian legislation, most of them are Anglo-Saxon legislation. The started High Court of Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta was given by the Britishers since they were ruling us, and almost all the major legislation which we have now, except for the Constitution, all the major laws were given by the Britishers, and we did have amendments according to our societal changes. But even then, we have so many legislations coming up. Recently, there was a social beneficial legislation for the benefit of Transgender Persons Act in 2019. During the COVID situation, it came into force on 2020, January 10. Many of my friends didn't know. They were citing the Nalsa judgment. I told there was already a legislation coming to place. How will we take all these legislations to the last person, common man? Only if the lawyers and honorable judges who are practicing this law is educated, is trained on these fields, then only we can take this to the public. The public will benefit only out of our arguments and out of our judgments. So there is a big vacuum in this field. There is a very big vacuum. Of course, there is lots and lots of sessions are coming up, webinars are coming up. It's all mushrooming, but there has to be streamlined in it. There should be a streamline in all these things. So this continuous legal education, to be streamlined, we have to think in a different perspective. Think in a rethinking. It's not a normal thinking, a rethinking, a different thinking, out of the box thinking. So it is not in one hand. And I should say, Dr. Professor Madhav Menon, the father of legal education in India, he brought in the Bangalore Law University, the law school, the 5-year integrated course, and he had been conducting, when I had also attended one of Dr. Madhav Menon's course on practical training. It was on the family courts practical experience. It was there three days in Pondicherry University. I had attended the training.
Time management, please.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, I just overtook. Just one, and I was about to stop, and I just remembered Professor Madhav Menon. Just that. Sorry for it. So these kind of continuous training will definitely help and benefit every one of us in the legal fraternity. I should thank every one of you for patiently listening to me. Sorry, I had just taken a little more time than expected. So on this note, I thank the organizers, especially Dr. Sampath and all my co-speakers who have joined in. And I should thank today's chief guest, Dr. Tamilvanan, Honorable Justice, former Justice of Madras High Court. And I hand over the session back to the organizer. Thank you, sir. I have just told a little bit about whatever I have thought about it. Maybe I am right, or I may not be so much right. If I'm right, it's fine. If I'm not right, I'll take a few cues from you and I'll upgrade myself. Thank you all. Thank you so much, sir.